Um, is this currently working? All right. Hello and welcome. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? I don't know how many people are. Um. Okay, perfect. I think there's a... Okay, this is my first ever live stream, so... Alright, I can... Okay, perfect. Alright. Okay. Alright, I think I'm doing everything correctly. Hello, and welcome. So, welcome. This is a very informal stream. I mean, first ever one I'm doing, and I'm not 100% sure if everything's coming out correctly, but you know what? First time for everything. Gonna have fun with this. Let me make sure I get my community post out. Whoops, I forgot to hit play. Okay. Or I forgot to hit send. 2026 anime first thoughts and reactions. Alright. Sorry about this. I thought I had this ready to send. Okay. Alright. So, thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with me. I don't know how long this is going to be, but what I'm just going to do is because I haven't made I'm not going to make an ultimate guide for this season. I just ran out of time working on the 100 Girlfriends video. So, because of that, I figured I might as well just do a quick live stream of what my first thoughts and impressions are for this summer season so far. And let me bring my mic closer to me. Okay, so if at any point the music's too loud or my microphone's too quiet, you can let me know. I can just change the settings here. So, thank you for coming with, and I am going to just go ahead and get started. Yeah. Alright, so this is not a tier list I set up. I've got Mal up here, of course, and I've just got this tier list I found. I'm not going to rank everything here, because, frankly, I don't know every anime that's on this list, but I have separated the anime that I have seen the premieres of, so, I'm still catching up on some things. I'm still figuring out which shows I'm going to watch, because just like the other two seasons this season has got a lot of anime with it, and a lot of really, really good anime so far. I'm pleasantly surprised with the anime that we've had premiere. And the first anime I'm going to rank from this is Demons of the Shadow Realm, just because it's a carryover. It's the only carryover I'm watching from the spring season. And so far, I like it. This is not going to be like my normal tier list. This is not going to be exhaustive too. Like, whenever I make my summer 2026 anime tier list, I'm going to have more anime I'm going to put in the tier list than what I have right now. This is really just based off of what I've seen so far and how I feel about it. So I guess this might be spoiling my spring tier list, but I like Demons of the Shadow Realm so far. I've enjoyed it. I like the whole brother-sister dynamic between Nuru and his sister's name is escaping me, Asta, I think. But yeah, so yeah, 2025 was, pretty good, but 2025 had one season that was just so jam-packed, just so heavy, which was the summer season. And because of that, the winter season was pretty good. But the spring and the fall felt, especially the fall of 2025, felt like it was just lacking, or it just wasn't as impressive as it could have been. So last summer, I watched, I think it was 37 anime, and that was a tall order, especially that I went to Japan in the middle of it, and I didn't watch any anime when I was in Japan. Like, when I'm on vacation, I'm just hanging out and having a good time on vacation. I'm not really too worried about watching anime, especially that by the time I got back to my Airbnb, I was tired. And yeah, fall had Gnosia, which was pretty good. And it had my favorite season of Spike's Family. I do think that Spike's Family season 3 is its best season. And it had One Punch Man season 3. Woo. I mean, I didn't even watch that one so real quickly when I'm on this tangent, One Punch Man season 2 came out in, if I remember correctly, when One Punch Man season 2 came out, I had just quit my job, and it was a job that I really hated. It was a company I could have stuck with that job and it would have set me up really well for the future, but I hated that job. It's terrible. And season 2 is so mid. Yeah, so when season 2 came out, if I remember correctly, I had just quit my job and I was not really in a huge anime mood. I was just like, let me, enjoy life for the meantime and try to get a new job. And then there's so much discourse about season 2 being such a massive disappointment that it just kind of scared me away from wanting to watch One Punch Man. So I just never continued. But yeah, so anyway, the whole thing is that last fall was pretty lackluster. But this year so far, winter was a banger. Spring's been a banger. I haven't made my tier list yet, but spring was fantastic. I mean, we got ReZero in spring, and we're going to have ReZero again this summer. Like, if I scroll down, they actually have ReZero right here. But I'm not going to rank it because technically we haven't had any episodes yet this season. So, not too worried about that right now. But if you were wondering where ReZero would be, it would, of course, be at the very top. I'm not going to use a D tier. Let me just get rid of that. So, just 3 tiers for this one, just to make it simple. So, yeah, winter was excellent. Spring was excellent. And this summer season's already starting off really well. So, 100 Girlfriends, obviously, is going to be a banger. It's 100 Girlfriends. Like, so many people have discovered my channel and first found me because of 100 Girlfriends. And I still remember that when I made my first manga video about it, had some bangers, and it looks like that'll be the... Yeah, isn't next winter gonna have... I don't remember what's gonna be... I know Mashle Season 3. That's, for whatever reason, that's the only one that's come... Let me just go here real quick. Winter 2027. Shangri-La. I haven't watched Season 2 Shangri-La Frontier. I like Season 1, but I kind of felt like I'd seen it all at the end of Season 1. I heard good things about Season 2, though, so maybe Season 2 will be good. Oh, yeah, the Green Yuri. And they announced recently that the OP is going to be done by Nirvana. Okay, Marriage Toxin's hype. I never really got into Sakamoto Days. Akira Badashi's pretty good. Yeah, there's some definite, oh, hey, new, Maigo Michika. Yeah, I can, see why Winter's gonna be pretty good. But there's still plenty of time to announce more shows for it. So, 100 Girlfriends. Something I remember mentioning in my original manga. Yeah, Sundays are packed. Those aren't the only ones, too. So, something I remember mentioning in my original manga video was, I made a comment like, I don't know how long it'll take 100 Girlfriends to complete, but I will be there all the way through. And at that time, I wasn't 100% sure, like, what I meant by saying that. And I wasn't, like, too concerned with that being a major part of my channel, but then that video blew up. And then I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I really want to continue making 100 Girlfriends content as much as I can. So I'm not the only person on YouTube who's covered 100 Girlfriends a lot. Like, Moonlight 150 covers the series a lot. Plus, he recently had that interview with, like, Travis Mullinix and several other voice actors of the show, which was really awesome. So, 100 Girlfriends, it's a banger. Like, I was really unsure how the season 3 premiere would go, and like, this is why I've got my anime list up, because right now 100 Girlfriends season 3, 8.23, which is really high for what you would expect a harem series to have and be received this well. I don't think that rating's gonna stick too high. I remember season 2 got to like 8 point something, and then now that's, you know, after a while, shows tend to, like, even out a bit, I guess you could say, with their rating. But, you know, that's not a bad rating, of course. Like, it's still very high, especially for harem series, which tend not to get high scores. But yeah, I'm really impressed with how well-received Season 3 has been for 100 Girlfriends. But yeah, it started out, I was not expecting to see the interviews, the girlfriend interviews chapter animated as early as it was, especially that there's so many jokes about, like, wait, who are all these girlfriends we haven't met before? And if you aren't familiar with the series yet, if you're anime only, you can still get a bit of what their personality is and who they are. So, you know, a bit of hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge about that. I mean, yeah, that's a good point, too, because, like, how often does a series like this get to a third season? So, originally, I was a bit concerned where it felt like they were going to have to cut some chapters, which I'm sure they will, but Studio Byberry has done such a great job with 100 Girlfriends Season 1 and 2 that I shouldn't doubt them. And speaking of Studio Byberry, Chainsmoker Cat, I'm just going to put in the middle here. So Chainsmoker Cat is also animated by Studio Byberry, and I've seen both episodes so far. There's something that happens in the first, like, 2 or 3 minutes of the first episode that actually made me feel sick to my stomach. And the rest of the show so far, Rent a Girlfriend can get 6 fucking seasons. Hey man, I'm sticking with Rent a Girlfriend all the way through, you know. At this point, I don't know if it's because I like it or if it's because it's sunk cost fallacy. Because, like, I've already watched all 5 seasons of Rent a Girlfriend. Like, why would I stop now? So yeah, I'm sure 100 Girlfriends can get fully adapted. I mean, yeah, they're going to skip a lot of chapters for it, but we'll get to there when we get there. I'd just like to see it. So, Chainsmoker Cat. Oh boy, I was not prepared for an anime that is this vulgar and this disgusting, and I kind of like it. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's really an anime that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, because, like, the whole point of the series is, very surprised they animated that. Yeah. All right. You know what I'm talking about. So, at the same time, like, you know what? The animators are ballsy. Like, this is a show that. Let me put it like this. I'm a huge fan of South Park. I've had a few South Park references in my videos, but I love South Park. I've always liked South Park too. Like, I think that their season, or I guess technically 2 seasons, how they broke it up, because the 6-7 episode, or whatever. I think their season last year is, like, a really strong one. See, I love South Park. I really do. And one of the things about South Park is that there's a lot of, gross out humor. Like, stuff that is meant to make you feel sick. And, I finally, my dad has never watched South Park before. And last year, I think it was, I showed my dad his first episode of South Park, which was Make Love Not Warcraft. Because my dad is a huge fan of World of Warcraft. And there's that one scene that I told him, like, Dad, close your eyes. I'll let you know when the scene is done. And I, like, muted the TV. And if you've seen the episode, you probably know exactly what kind of scene I'm talking about. But, like, that's the kind of thing that Chainsmoker Cat is making me think of. Like, if you're already going to make a show this vulgar, to do something this disgusting, just go all in, Like, why... And the wise words of Ron Swanson, don't ever half-ass 2 things. Whole-ass 1 thing. And that's what they did in Chainsmoker Cat. And I love it. I love what they're doing so far. Do I think the show is amongst the best of the season? I don't know. It's unique. And speaking of gross out, I guess Grand Blue kind of counts. Now I'm going to put it up in the bigger. Grand Blue, I mean, it's been hilarious. Like, the way that Season 3 opens up with the first skit, or part of the episode, where they have to make a whole class presentation about... They're making a class presentation about why this one character hasn't lost his virginity yet. And then it shifts into talking about how come another character hasn't lost her virginity yet, and they actually presented in front of the class. I was dying. Like, Grand Blue's great. I'm so glad that Grand Blue, like, it took so long to get a season 2, and then, boom, season 3. Already here. We got it. We're here. We're in business, baby. And, like, Grand Blue is also a series. It's, like, never the best animated. Like, it never tries to be a show that flexes its animation chops or whatever, but it's exactly as well animated as they need it to be. And yeah, it hasn't disappointed. And then since I talked about Chainsmoker Cat, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You is a very different show, despite both having smoke in the title. It's got a weird release. I didn't watch what they put out already, which was, I think they put out the first 6 episodes, and then, like, the episode that they released on Thursday was just the first 2 segments put together. I'm not too sure. I've heard mixed things about it. I wanted to wait until the show would start proper before I watched anything. And so far, yeah, it's a very, very different show than Chainsmoker Cat. Like, if Chainsmoker Cat is there to help people realize what kind of a livelihood you live when you are smoking, then... And... which has a dub? Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You? But yeah, like, I don't think that, because Chainsmoker Cat is very clearly, anti-smoking. It's not just anti-smoking. Like, in the second episode, Yanni Neko just walks in on her friend who's just straight up shooting up heroin. And I was not expecting that. So, okay. I didn't know he was going to have a dub. It seems like a good show for having a dub. Like, the thing that Smoking Behind the Supermarket makes me think of is Call of the Night. Because, one, it pretty much takes place entirely in the nighttime. With that cool, calm, peaceful vibe to it. Where, like, you're off work sucks, you had a busy day, and you're in just that liminal space, I guess you could call it, where you don't have the next day to plan for, you're not looking forward to, or you're not heading to work, you're just at peace. Because the main character, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but the main character meets Yamada, and the two of them both have jobs they just don't care for. But I mean, they're jobs, like they gotta eat. Or in this case, they gotta smoke. And they're just chilling. Like, I'm expecting that this is gonna be a show which is 98% dialogue. Like, the dialogue just carries it. And I don't know if it's gonna be a romance or not. They definitely have chemistry together, which is nice. But this is a show that just has a cool vibe to it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I've heard good things about the source material. So there goes the 3 substance abuse, smoking, alcohol, and literally everything in Chainsmoker Cat. So what's next? So I'll do Ghost in the Shell. So Ghost in the Shell is a banger. Now, I have seen the original Ghost in the Shell movie, and this was a while ago. Like, I remember I was still in college for it. This was like over, I think this was like 2014, maybe 2015. I watched the original movie at a friend's house because he had been reading the manga, and he was hyping it up. And we enjoyed it. And I remember one thing he told me before he watched it, because we watched it with another one of our friends. So the 3 of us. Yeah, so when we watched the original movie, he said, just a heads up, I'm going to play this in English dub because there's way too much exposition that happens, and I don't want to pause it every 30 seconds for you to read everything. And I felt that, because the moment that the episode begins, there's so much text on screen that I had to pause it. I had to keep pausing. I'm like, what is going on? And it's been so long since I've watched. I mean, technically I watched the live action movie, but I don't know if that really counts. And I'm not 100% sure what exactly happened. It goes at a very quick pace. But I liked it so far. I mean, it's Science Saru. No matter what, Science Saru anime are gonna look good. The characters are great. I mean, my man Bato, I always like Bato. He's back. And Matuko, I'm excited. I might not 100% understand what's going on just yet, but fortunately, I've got some Discord friends who are also watching this and are like, Ghost in the Shell is a very well-respected series, and I've got multiple friends who don't even watch seasonal anime, and they're watching this right now, so I can at least bounce off what I think about it with them. Another thing too is that the new Ghost in the Shell has a very cartoony look to it. Yeah, Science Saru is really high quality. Like, the first anime I watched from Science Saru was Devilman Crybaby. And that was truly an anime that I watched once, and I don't think I've ever wanted to watch it a second time. It's not an easy watch. And what's wild is that I started watching Devilman Crybaby when I was at the gym on the treadmill. And then I went home after watching like the first 2 episodes, and I thought, this is not a gym treadmill anime. Like, this is an anime that I need to give my full attention. So I went home and I binged the rest of the series. And then when I finished it, I just kind of lied there and just felt defeated. Like it was a lot. So yeah, Science Saru not only is their anime visually appealing, but like they know how to do science fiction pretty well. Like there's so many moving parts physically with the Ghost of the Shell remake. And yeah, it's got a much more cartoony vibe to it, but that also fits, like, it just seems pretty fitting to me, like how I'm not too sure when the original manga came out, and I don't know if it accurately matches the art style of the manga, but it's got a very compelling art style to it. And I like that it went for something different rather than just going with the gritty, grungy vibe of the original. So it's doing something new. And speaking of Science Saru, Jadugar, Witch of Mongolia, also Science Saru. So this is only seventh anime I'm putting on here, and I've got 2 by Studio Byberry and 2 by Science Saru. So Jadugar, I like historical fiction, and we don't see many historical fiction in anime in general. And there's another one that I'm watching this season that is also historical fiction. I'll cover next. So I was looking forward to this because 1, it looked beautiful, and 2, Science Saru, and 3, it covers a part of the world that you just don't see animated very well. Like, there's obviously Aladdin, and then there's The Thief and the Cobbler, which is a bit of a deeper cut, but I remember watching that at some point when I was a kid. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of existing animated material that I'm aware of that takes place in Iran during this time period. And the first episode is so captivating and so beautiful. And then episode 2 happens. And I cried, man. Like, I cried. Like, episode 2 hit me hard. I should have seen a lot of that coming. But episode 2 just fills you with such a horrible feeling of loneliness and just this utter bleak atmosphere they're going for, which I wasn't fully prepared for given its really pretty art style and how the first episode is set up. Like, there is a moment at the end of the first episode where it's like, oh, like, shit's going down. But then the second episode, and there's nothing happy in the second episode. I'm honestly shocked the main character has survived as long as she has. Where is it? Where is Jadugar in here? What is her name again? Yeah, it's Tara. So, already right off the bat, it's gripped me. It deserves that 8.4. The music has been incredible too, and everything is, as well as that they hired. I saw something about they hired 2 Mongolian sumo wrestlers and their voice actors, because at one point they start speaking like actual Mongolian. I'm like, that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen Mongolian spoken in an anime before. So, like, they really did their research. Like, I saw that a lot of people were talking about how the first episode begins with, I believe, the call to prayer. Yeah, like, it's amazing so far. I've got a few friends who are Muslim too, and they were telling me about how, like, accurate it portrays this time period. And I'm really hooked. Like, the first episode would have hooked me alone just by how beautiful it looks, how much attention to detail there is, how impressive the visuals are, and the second episode just hit me like a freight train. And I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm honestly terrified to see what's going to happen next. Like, it feels like there is no hope here. But then again, like, the Mongol Empire conquered so much of the world that, like, I should have saw that coming, I guess. So, there is another historical fiction one, and that is Sparks of Tomorrow, which I'm going to put it in I like it for now, because I like what's happened, but I feel like it feels like there's something that's going to happen soon that's really going to get me. And that's why I'll put it in like it. So Sparks of Tomorrow is based off of... Let me see if I can get... I think it's got a second visual, because this one's a bit busy. Okay. So Sparks of Tomorrow is set in the early 1900s. And it's an era where the pioneers of electricity, so they mentioned a few, like Benjamin Franklin, he died early. I don't know if that meant that he wasn't a diplomat for the fledgling United States, but he died early. Nikola Tesla died early, so it's a world where electricity has not taken off. And instead, everything is steam powered. I wouldn't say it's fully steampunk, because it doesn't seem to try to be too, so far, it doesn't try to seem too fantastical with its technology, but everything is steam based. Like, all transport is done by trains. There's smoke everywhere. And one of the characters introduced is the son of this steam conglomerate and can basically get away with anything he wants. So the main character is interested in electricity, and it seems... So both Sparks of Tomorrow and Jadagar... Yeah, steam power. Oh, hey, Steegs. How's it going, man? So... Sparks of Tomorrow and Jadagar they both make me think of Orb, where you have characters that live in a world that is becoming more dangerous for them. And I definitely get that feeling more for Jadagar because of what happened in the second episode. Sparks of Tomorrow, I'm not sure we've gotten there yet, but it's Kyoto Animation. So it's automatically the best animated show of the season. I've seen YouTubers make tier lists of when they rank what the best anime studios are. And in my opinion, if you don't have Kyoto Animation at the very top, your tier list just isn't correct. Like, there's no argument about Kyoto Animation, quality-wise, has the best quality. And I get that feeling from Sparks of Tomorrow. There's a moment in the first episode where it's almost like... how do I explain it? A character has a vision of something, of like this performance being done, and it's animated in such a unique way that I don't know if I've ever really seen before. And it's incredible. And technically there's another historical fiction one, if you could call it. There's Red River, which I was impressed with the first episode. It doesn't have the greatest animation quality so far, but funnily enough, I was hanging out with some friends back in February, and the friends I was hanging out with, it was... Yeah, Kyoto Animation is doing Ruri Dragon, and it'll be the first Shonen Jump title they've ever animated. Because Ruri Dragon is Shonen Jump. I remember seeing that, and I mean, like, Ruri Dragon had like a 2.5 year hiatus, and then it came back, and it was able to keep its spot in Shonen Jump, from what I understand. And now it's getting an anime adaptation by Kyoto freaking Animation. Like, wow. I haven't read the manga, but I'm real excited about that. Is it actually confirmed for next year? I haven't heard much about it since the announcement. We aren't sure, but we know it'll be Kyoto Animation, which is pretty awesome. So let's go over what, what is this? Oh yeah, Soniphonium. I should have recognized that. Yeah, I've got some friends who are really big into Soniphonium. Yeah, they did City in the Animation last year, which was so much fun. So, yeah, Red River. So, Red River, I was hanging out with some friends back in February, and we were talking about shoujo manga, because they're all into shoujo manga. And they were recommending Red River to me, because it's this cool, it's technically isekai, time travel, however you want to put it. And it's set in ancient Anatolia, so like where Turkey is. And the main character is just a standard, you know, Japanese teenage girl. Like, the first 10 seconds of episode 1 begins with her having her first kiss. Which kind of threw me for a loop, because that doesn't happen that often. See, I'm a bit of a K guy. Yeah, everybody, choose a favorite letter. Yeah, I know this stream might not be the most exciting, but like, it's just something simple. I've never done a live stream before, so I'm just seeing how this goes. But yeah, if you guys have watched any anime this season and any have caught your eye, you know, go ahead and let me know. Because I have not fully decided on everything I'm watching so far. So, yeah, Red River, it doesn't have the greatest animation quality so far, but it doesn't really, like, need to. It's got a very distinct shoujo art style, and this is a series that started in the mid-90s. And it's getting an anime now, but it's not the only one, because, like, Hanakimi also is from the same time, I think. And that just had, it's got a second season right now, too. Okay, on. I gotcha. Yeah, that was Kyoto Animation too, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah. So, Red River, like, I like historical fiction quite a bit, and I don't know if I've watched anything that takes place in ancient Turkey that doesn't have to do with Troy, but like, this is set in the 14th century BC, so this is well before the Trojan War. Like, one of the characters name drops King Tut. To give you an idea of how long ago that Yuri, the main character, is sent back to. So I'm looking forward to Red River. And I can put something in Not Sure Yet. So this is Rich Girl Caretaker. I don't know about this one yet. I mean, I'm not somebody who drops anime. Like, a lot of people stick to the 3-episode rule. I'm not one of them. I'm stubborn. Like, when I commit to watching something, I'm gonna watch it. I'm a bit of a completionist. I love seeing that number, or that status on AniList when I complete an anime, and it says, completed. I want to have shows in my backlog, or in my log, that I've completed. So I don't drop things. So I'm committed to watching Rich Girl Caretaker. And I'm not too sure what I think about it so far. So the main character is a bit of a... He's in an unfortunate situation. He works hard labor to pay for high school. He's got to pay for his own high school because his parents are alcoholics and gamblers. And then he quits his job because he's got enough to attend high school. And he goes home and his parents stole all of his money and ran out. Tough break, kid. So he is just walking on the street. He sees a girl who immediately gets kidnapped. And the kidnappers kidnap him too. And she gets rescued. I mean, most people are like that, but I just don't enjoy drop. Since I've started my channel, there's only 2 anime I could think of where I actually dropped the anime that I was watching after 2 episodes. And it was the same season. It was spring 2023. There are 2 anime that I started where I'm like, I am just not feeling this at all. I don't want to force myself. And since being an anime YouTuber, that's the only time that's happened. I guess you could say that Drops of God could fit into there because Crunchyroll has something where they do, it's called Anime Nights, which is every 3rd Monday they have something in theaters. And every 3 months it's a preview night for the next season. And I didn't go to the first one, which was back in December, because I didn't know about it. I probably was busy that week anyway. So I went to the one in March for the spring season, and they had a premiere for Drops of God, and it was not very good. I was at a pretty packed theater, and we're kind of just laughing at the whole thing. It was not a very good production, and I haven't heard any good things about Drops of God anyway, which is a 2-core series, so I think it's down here somewhere. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so Rich Girl Caretaker. So the 2 main characters are kidnapped, and her army of maids, or her lead maid leads special forces, whatever, who rescues her, and the main character. And the girl is like, she never talks. She just keeps like falling asleep on top of him. Yeah, I'm not gonna rank all this. This is just a random tier list I found, Steegs. There's Drops of God. I'm only gonna be ranking up to The World is Dancing here, so I've only got this many. Saga of Tanya the Evil, I'm behind on, so I haven't watched it yet. Thanks, man. I appreciate you checking it out, Steegs. I appreciate it. So, yeah, Rich Girl Caretaker, whatever. Hey, you saying I'm flopping right now? I ain't flopping. I'm not a fish. So I'm gonna keep watching Rich Girl Caretaker. It has a really good OP. But like the main girl just like never talks, and it can get annoying after a while because like the main character says, oh, she's actually, or one of the other characters says, oh, she's actually top of her grades. Like she's really smart, really studious. And then we see her actually interact, and she just sleeps and then steals the main character's phone and just acts like a gremlin. I'm like, I'm not convinced yet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So there's a few shows that I am not caught up yet on. Thank you, Steve's. Yeah, I know nobody flopping here today. I know fish. So You're great, King. I personally know Steegs, so that's why I've been calling him out. King Marcus, you're awesome too. So, anybody checking out the stream, thanks for checking. I'm honestly having fun doing this. I got a degree in communication, so might as well use it to keep yapping. So might as well use it for something, because I work in accounting, not in communications. Not that that's a complaint. I like my job. I like accounting. So, which one next? I'm not going to consider ReZero because I already mentioned that earlier. It would be in the peak, but we technically haven't gotten any new episodes this summer. This one I should have moved over. Ladies don't play fighting games. So I saw this one in theaters because I went to the anime preview night for the summer season, which they only had 4 shows premiere. And I'll do all of them next. I'll get to Goodbye Laura. That I watched last night. I'll get to that in a bit. So I'll do the... Crunchyroll had 4 premieres for the summer season for their preview night. And young ladies... Let me just get the title. Where is it? Young ladies don't play fighting games. Oh my god. Yeah, I was, so Steegs, I was telling Solus, when I saw it, I'm like, man, you gotta watch this. You need to watch this. Because he's such a big fan of Street Fighter 6. And in this show, they straight up show footage from Street Fighter 6. Like, they don't, like, make a whole new game. Because, like, in Chainsmoker Cat, they actually had Street Fighter 6 footage, but I wasn't too sure if it was Street Fighter. It looked like it was kind of, like, an original game they just made for the anime. But young ladies don't play fighting games. It's a lot like Rock is a Lady's Modesty from last year. And that show was a banger. So you've got this girl who was really big into fighting games, and she attends this prestigious all-girls school, all-girls boarding school, where fighting games, gaming in general, has been banned. And yet, the top dog at the school, the girl that everybody fawns over and wants to and admires, she is caught by the main character just playing Street Fighter one day. And she's getting really into it, like, banging her hand on the desk, you know, swearing at the guys she's playing in ranked. And it's about these girls who are high-class ladies and just want to beat the shit out of each other in Street Fighter, probably in real life. And there's something that happens. Voice crack there. There's something that happens at the end of the first episode that I'm so glad I saw the first episode in theaters, because we didn't have as many people in the theater for that showing as when I went to the spring one. And there's something that happens in the first episode that just cracked all of us up. I don't want to spoil it, but oh my god. Better at the Evo meme to it. Isn't Evo happening soon? I thought Evo happens in this summer. I'm not too sure. So, yeah, there's something that happens at the end of the first episode that just... oh my god. Young ladies don't play fighting games. It's going to be a hit this season. Just saying. The other shows that they had at the preview night, so 2 of them are sequels, and I'll just go through them real quick. Clevitus is a banger. The second season starts off with, like, the immediate following action of the first season. And I like that. It's like, oh hey, if you haven't watched it for a while, even though Clevitus is only a year old from its first season, if you forgot what happened, it's like, boom, here you go. Here's what happened. We're gonna get you up to speed. And then we lead into the Magic Academy arc. So it's got a different feeling to the second season than the first, of course. But I'm impressed so far. I like Clevitus a lot. It, you know, that and Sentenced to Be a Hero are solid dark fantasies that we're having for, you know, dark modern fantasy anime. So we've got a Magic Academy arc, and right off the bat, there's definitely some ideas that I have of what's going to happen, and I'm just waiting to see what happens next. I don't want to spend too much time on sequels. Skeleton Knight Another World. It's fun. I don't really think that there's any way other you can describe Skeleton Knight. It's fun. That's my review of Season 1. It's fun. That's my review of Season 2 so far. It's fun. And the second season opens up with Arc and its companions, like, being framed for being criminals. And I got a good kick out of when they catch up to the people who are impersonating them. That was pretty funny. But yeah, like, Skeleton Knight isn't going to be an isekai that I'm going to write home about and call one of my... This is not Skeleton Knight. That's the next anime I'll cover. That's Skeleton Knight. My bad. So, yeah, Skeleton Knight is just fun. I have enjoyed it, and one of my favorite things about Skeleton Knight, season 2 and season 1 is that Pel K came back for the OP for season 2. And if you don't know, so Pel K, this guy. Whoops. So I think this is really cool. I don't think I have audio playing from my browser. So yeah, Pel K is a YouTuber. And he's got a long history of covering anime songs. So for when season 1 came out back in 2022, they had him do the OP. And they've got him doing the OP for season 2 as well. And I just think that's really cool. So I'm glad to see him come back. Yeah, he even made an official cover of his own song on his YouTube channel. And seeing him come back for season 2, it's great. I think I prefer the first OP, but like they still kept in the sound effects with the second OP. It's great. So Skeleton Knight, it's fun. And the other anime they had was Exiled Heavy Knight, the one I accidentally put up. It's GoHands, and I like GoHands. Like, GoHands is not everybody's favorite studio. Let me just show you why. Yeah. So, I don't think I have audio playing from my browser. I don't think I have that set up, but let me just show you. Like, this is GoHands style. It'll have so many particle effects, hair moving in every direction. I don't think you could get a good grasp for it, but like the camera angles go all over the place here. And I mean all over the place. And it's distracting, but like I like GoHands. I like their style. I like what they do. I like that they're unique. It's not for everybody, but it's also unique enough to really catch your attention. So, my problem with Exiled Heavy Knight, is not just that it's a very by-the-book standard, isekai banishment story. The second episode, the first 3 minutes, is all recap. All recap. And then there's something that cracked me up, is that at the end of the second episode, there's this bandit leader, I believe bandit leader, who goes, ha, 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 and they just repeat the laugh for like 20 seconds. So the second episode ends with, ha, 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 at different camera angles. And this is going to go for 2 cores consecutively for 26 episodes. I hope that the rest of the series isn't paced this poorly. Because another thing too is that this moment where he's fighting this giant spider, he spends like 5 minutes leveling up before the spider shows up. And just stands there in front of him while he's like, wait a minute, I have to check my stats and level up. It's a turn-based RPG after all. I have to make sure I'm prepared for this. And it just takes forever. And it's like, wow, this is an impressive looking show. And so far, I am enjoying it. Like, this is the kind of slop that I really like. I know I'm going to enjoy this. But man, here I could show the camera angles. I think. Nah, they don't have it. But yeah, it's just got bad pacing so far. I hope they fix. Like, I've enjoyed it so far. We'll have to see what happens next, but I'm gonna keep with it. Like, I got 24 more weeks of watching Exiled Heavy Knight, so that'll keep me through the rest of the year, and let's just see how well it's paced afterwards. Black Torch, I also am not sure about. So Black Torch is pretty unique. Black Torch was a Shonen Jump, I believe, manga that got axed before it reached 20 chapters. Because from what I understand, when it comes to Shonen Jump specifically, there's like the 20 chapter threshold, which is, can your manga make it to 20 chapters? Which is about half a year. Give or take, like if there's a week break for like Golden Week or something, like magazines typically do. So let's say at least 5 months. And a lot of promising shows for Shonen Jump don't make it to the 20 chapter mark, which is unfortunate. So Black Torch, from what I understand, is one of those shows, or one of those manga, that did not make it to 20 chapters. I think it made it to 19, and then it got axed. Somehow, it got an anime adaptation, and not only that, but the OP... Once again, I'm not going to play any audio or anything. The OP is done by Sim, who is the same band who did the freaking rumbling from Attack on Titan. And there is pretty high production quality. Yeah, Shonen Jump, double-edged sword. Yeah, so far, Black Torch, I watched the first episode. I definitely felt like it was... Yeah, if, you know... Shonen Jump, I don't know if this is exclusive to Shonen Jump or every magazine, but they have a high turnover rate. So there's a lot of promising shows that just aren't going to be able to see the light of day. Yeah, that might just be most manga publications in general, but Shonen Jump is weekly. It's not like a bi-weekly magazine. So Black Torch, it felt like I was watching the first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Instead of this case, Sukuna is a cat. But he doesn't seem evil. I'm just gonna wait and see more stuff. I mean, no matter what, whether I like it or not, it's only gonna last for one core because they only have 19 chapters to adapt. But like, if you watch the OP, there's like so many moving parts in it that I have no idea what it's gonna be like. Like, it's gonna be this battle-heavy series, but it's only gonna last for, I think, 13 episodes, so we'll have to wait and see. Draw This and Die is a banger right off the bat. I watched this yesterday, and the first episode made me cry. Like, I'm all in on this one. Draw This and Die looks like it's going to be a massive sleeper hit this season. I'm really impressed. It's by Shin-Ei Animation, which is the same studio that made the best anime of the decade, The Danger Is My Heart, still the best anime of the decade. And it's about, the main character has this passion for manga, and I honestly don't want to give more than that, because even though you can predict the twist that happens in the first episode, it hit me hard. Like, it hit me really hard. Like I said, I cried at the first episode. I was not expecting it to hit me as hard as it did. And I'm hooked. Like, this is going to be a, you know, follow your dreams, follow your passions, despite what the rest of the world says. It's going to be a series like that. And I'm all in for it. Like, it's given the proper love and attention that a series like this would want. And I'm really excited. And Goodbye Laura, which King Marcus, you mentioned not too long ago. I just watched the first episode of that last night. And I went into that blind. And I gotta say is that, go into it blind. I was not expecting like, all I heard was that, oh, it's basically an anime original retelling of The Little Mermaid. That means the entire Little Mermaid. Like, they speed ran the movie, the story, The Little Mermaid. But then, like, something happens that I was not expecting. And then by the end of the episode, I'm all in on this. Another one that I'm like, I went in blind. You know, I'm not going to say anything more than that. It really, It's really going to be an amazing show. And it's got this beautiful art style to it. It's gorgeous. Like, it's got the shoujo inspired art style, and it's done by Kinema Citrus, which is their 15th anniversary project, which is really cool. And the main character is Mermaid, hence why it's an adaptation of, like, a retelling of The Little Mermaid. Yeah, Sundays are stacked this season. Like, holy cow. Yeah. So, Goodbye Laura, I'm very impressed so far. So I got 3 more to cover, and Hell Mode is such a sneaky good show. Like, Hell Mode Season 2, Hell Mode Season 1 started back in the winter season. So Season 2 started. I was looking at the Reddit comments for the discussion thread, and, like, the top comment was, because episode 2 of Season 2 came out yesterday. The top comment from the discussion thread yesterday was something like, this show has no reason to be as good as it does. Hell Mode does not have great animation quality, but it has heart. It has... Oh no, thanks for showing up, Oliver Oates. Thanks for showing up. So, I'm not going to be covering this entire tier list. This is just one that I found randomly. But I believe that YouTube, and I hope they are, YouTube should be putting this on the, on my channel. So, I'll have all that. But, yeah, I'm talking about Hell Mode right now. So Hell Mode Season 2, like I said, it doesn't have the greatest animation quality. The CGI is, like, really not the best, but, like, in a charming way. Like, the main character is only 12 years old, and it has that childlike wonder to it, and it feels a lot like Mushoku Tensei, which I haven't ranked yet, but Mushoku Tensei, and it's just got a lot of passion to it. It's got a lot of heart. It's just a pleasant anime to watch, and I'm really liking the world building that's being developed. And there's a new character introduced in the most recent episode that ties greatly into, like, the falling action of the last arc of Season 1. And it was a really cool twist that I'm glad they're putting in. Like, just like in Mushoku Tensei, the main character's actions have their consequences. That could be a good thing and a bad thing, and everything they do is going to impact other people. And I'm getting that feeling from Hell Mode as well. Though in this Magic Academy they're attending, in the second episode, Season 2, their teacher straight up says, you guys have this test coming up. And just a heads up, there's a lot of students who die each year during this. And if you don't pass, you're going to be expelled. Like, what the hell kind of... They're only 12 years old. Like, some of you may die, but it is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Like, gee, buddy. That did crack me up a bit. Okay, so Mushoku Tensei. No beating around the bush. That's going to be released on Sundays. But they had the first 2 episodes come out on Saturday last week, which I'm so glad I had my Mushoku Tensei ranking come out the day before, because I seriously spent the entire month of June working on the Mushoku Tensei ranking. I was hoping to get it done earlier, but back in May, and I was hoping to get the anime episodes of 2025 video done. Onions have layers. Exactly. Thank you, Steegs. There's a lot of onions here. On a side note, I watched the Shrek 5 trailer, and it did not look good. I am not looking forward to Shrek 5. I'm probably going to see it, but, like, I'm not sure about Shrek 5. Like, it was not looking good. Maybe I'll make a tier list of Shrek movies in the future. Probably not. Don't bet on it. So, yeah, Mushoku Tensei, I was hoping to get the ranking done before, like well in advance before season 3 started. It's just that May, I was planning to get the best anime episodes of 2025 done, but like May, I got sick in the middle of it. Like right after I got my winter tier list done. No, I got that. Yeah, like not long after I got the winter tier list done, I came down sick, and then I had the busiest 2 weeks of work that I'll probably have in the year. There's a major conference that happens every year for my work. I don't go to it, fortunately, because the people who go to it spend 12 hours in meetings and in training, and they're there for 5 days, and they're there, like, the people in my company who go to that, they're working on the airplane. And not only do they not stop working, but when they get back to the office, they have to get back to working. And they can't pay for their hotel rooms with their own credit card or their flights, so they can't even get the rewards points. So, like, I have not had to go to that conference, and some of my coworkers who have are like, hey, you should go to the conference, hang out with us. And I'm like, hey, no. So, but the thing is that when the conference happens, I have to take up for all the work going on that other people are handling, because they're in trainings all day. And then on top of that, the week after, I was on call, and that was awful. I'm not gonna moan about work too much. I like my job, I do, but the point is that I had like 2 to 3 weeks where I was hoping to get a lot done for the channel, and I just did not have the time or the energy, or I was sick, and just was not able to get stuff done. So Mushoku Tensei, yeah, no thanks, I'll pass. Like, another thing too is that, like, 1 year, the work conference was held at, like, this beach resort with a water park in, I think, Tampa Bay, Florida. And I was asking my coworkers, I'm like, hey, you guys go to the beach, you go to the water park? And they all said, oh no, we were just in classes all day. What's the point of having a conference at a convention that's at the beach and has a water park if you aren't going to go to the water park? What's the point of that? That's stupid. Oh my god. At least this year, it was in, like, I don't know, somewhere in the Midwest, somewhere that wasn't that exciting. So, like, I'm not gonna rant about work too much. Like I said, I like my job, but I was picking up the slack for other people who were out, and I got good overtime that week. That's all I'll say. I got good overtime that week, but I wasn't able to work in the Mushoku Tensei ranking. So I'm really glad I got the ranking done. Yeah, tell me about it. But, like, they start at, like, 7 a.m. and go until 11 at night. And it's just trainings, meetings, conferences. They have a guest speaker every year. And I don't know who they had this year, but a few years ago, they had Tim Tebow, the former NFL quarterback. I'm like, how do you get Tim Tebow to have as your guest speaker? Like, what is Tim? Did he work for the company? Probably not. He was an NFL quarterback. He's never going to have to work. If he's smart with his money, he's never going to have to work for his money again. Or never going to have to work a day in his life. But, like, why do you get a guest speaker in the first place? And why Tim Tebow? What relevance does he have with my company? None. It drew me up a wall. It drove me up a wall, but whatever. I should be talking about Mushoku Tensei more than just work conferences. So Mushoku Tensei had 2 episodes come out last week. On Saturday, not Sunday. Though their episodes are going to start with Sunday. And it's a banger. I mean, like, I'm really proud of getting the Mushoku Tensei episode ranking done. Especially getting it done before Season 3 started. And I'm really impressed with how Season 3 started so far. Like, Season 1, after the first turning point, heck, after Rudy left Futoa, or Buena Village, I was thinking, like, man, what happened to Sylphie? Season 2 immediately begins with Sylphie. Season 2, I spent the whole season wondering what's been going on with Eris. Like, where's she been? Immediately starts with Eris. But not only that, the second episode of Season 3 is from the perspective of Eris's friend, I guess you could call her. And what's funny is that the episode that I ranked dead last in Mushoku Tensei, in my Mushoku Tensei ranking, ended up becoming very relevant in Season 3, which also happened when I did my ReZero ranking. The episode that I ranked dead last, which once again, I don't agree with episode 13 of ReZero being the weakest episode of the series anymore. I've changed my opinion. But Season 4, that episode became very important, even more than it already was. And so, not on the same level as that, but I was just laughing, like, of all the episodes that I've ranked, the one that I put at the very bottom, Mushoku Tensei, which I still think is the weakest episode, because I just found it pretty boring. The one that I ranked dead last ended up becoming very relevant for Season 3, right off the bat. I'm like, of course, you know, at the very least, when I did my Attack on Titan ranking, the episode I put at the very bottom wasn't, like, constantly referenced throughout the series, compared to all the other episodes that are constantly referenced. So, Mushoku Tensei looks like the next episode tomorrow, if my voice could stop cracking. Let me drink some water. Make sure you stay hydrated, everybody. I used to work as summer camp counselor. If you're not drinking, you're doing something wrong. Keep drinking water. Always be drinking water. That was my first job, summer camp counselor. A lot of fun time. But also, every summer, you're just terrified that you would come down with Lyme disease. Fortunately, I never did. But, I got camp stories for days. Future live streams, I can tell camp stories, maybe. So yeah, Mushoku Tensei, I'm impressed so far. They might be doing the OPs like Season 1 did, where it plays during the episode, because they did that with the first episode of Season 3. I don't think they played the OP during the second episode. Not sure. But it's got a great premiere so far. And then there's the last one I'll rank, which is The World is Dancing. And it's going to go in the banger too. I got a lot of bangers here. I mean, this is not like my normal tier list. This is just like first impressions, what I think of these shows right off the bat. And The World is Dancing really threw me for a loop. Because one, it's animated so well. It's done by... Here, let me The World is Dancing. It is animated by Cypic. Do you know what else Cypic is making? Kagura freaking Bachi. Cypic used to be known as Cygames Pictures. So, Cypic is... they're doing The World is Dancing, which is technically their first anime, even though it's just Cygames Pictures, and they just rebranded as Cypic. And The World is Dancing, like, there's a lot of dancing so far, but, like, it kind of reminds me of Draw This and Die, but a much different... So, it's historical fiction, which I guess I should have included with Sparks of Tomorrow and Shadowgar. But The World of Dancing is about this, I believe, famous Japanese dancer. And the series starts out with him not understanding dance. He's the son of a famous dancer in his own right, and he isn't that great of a dancer. So he's trying to find his own rhythm, his own beat, his own dance floor. And he does so by meeting this woman who's dying of what's likely tuberculosis. And this is during feudal Japan, so, like, you get tuberculosis. GG. There we go, yeah, Kagura Bachi. Yeah, same studio, same studio. So Kagurabachi is next April. And if you're wondering, I did not go to Anime Expo, so I did not watch the first episode. But even if I did go to Anime Expo, I saw the lines for Kagurabachi. No guarantee I would have even been able to get in. So I would like to go to Anime Expo at some point, because it's kind of like the pilgrimage that weebs have to take, but like, it's crowded. I just got an error that YouTube is not receiving. Do I need to like have something move on the screen for that to happen? Alright, if the screen is buffering, for you guys. I don't know if that's a Wi-Fi thing or what. Okay, I'm sorry if things are... I'm almost done the stream anyway, so, if you guys can't hear me, or if it's buffering for you, just let me know, but I'm wrapping up anyway as I'm here. Okay, so... Let me just move the cursor around a bit. Just scroll a bit. Or not. Yeah, if this stream is buffering for you guys, I guess I can try doing this. Kind of primitive, but if it works. Okay, so I'll just keep the cursor moving. Alright, so... Anyway, The World is Dancing really caught me off guard. It's a much more serious story than what I was expecting with a title like The World is Dancing. Alright, thanks, Steves. So, much more serious story than what I was expecting. And it's not because, like, during this era, you think, like, the main character's village is going to be raided and burned down or whatever. Especially that, like, the art style makes you think you're watching The Elusive Samurai, which... should be down here somewhere, but Season 2 for that hasn't started just yet. It's down here somewhere. So, The World is Dancing has... It's not just about, like, the main character needs to find his way to dance. It's like, he needs to discover what dancing is. And he does so by finding a woman who dances out of desperation for her life, and it takes a very dark turn in the second episode, but in a way it's how the main character learns what dancing means to the woman that he knew and where he's going to go from there. So yeah, I'm real looking forward to it. Anyway, those are 9, 15, so that's 20. Alright, so I'm already at 20 anime this season. Am I really? 9, 15. Alright, I'm already at 20 anime this season. And only one is a carryover, being Demons of the Shadow Realm. So, yeah. I am gonna be adding more. I'm all in for suggestions, because, like, this season's already looking fantastic, and there's still plenty of anime that I haven't seen yet that I'm planning to. So if there's any anime, like King Marcus, you mentioned that there's a lot on Sunday. I don't have a calendar up in front of me right now, but I might add more. Like, I'm already gonna be making 12 episode reviews this season. I've already made the first one for 100 Girlfriends. And I'm looking forward to recommendations. I already see a few anime down here that I'm definitely planning to catch up. Like Kaiju Girl Caramelize, I was planning to watch yesterday, but I ended up getting busy, and then I met up with my mom for dinner, and then I played Overwatch with one of my buddies last night, so I didn't get to watching it, but I watched other things. I'll catch up to it. I'll definitely watch Kaichiguro Caramelize. Went to my first anime party last night. What do you mean? Do you mean like a convention? What do you mean by anime party? Because that sounds fun. Because like, I saw this meme the other day, which was this one woman saying, it was like a cartoon of this one woman saying, let's go to a con in our mid-30s, and I'm going to be turning 32 in less than a month. And, like, my con group used to be 12, like, at our max, we had 12 people going to cons. And we needed 2 rooms for that. Like, we had a large group. And now, I'm lucky if I can get 2 people to come with me to cons. Like, my friends have all gone different ways. Some of them have, like, moved. You and I are polar opposites. So, I've been watching the English dub. So, that hasn't started yet. I am absolutely going to be adding these 2. You and I are polar opposites has not debuted the English dub. So, when that does, I'm going to start watching it. But I already really like this show from, the winter season. And rank to that tier list. But yeah, so yeah, I used to have like a really large group of friends for like going to cons and stuff, and that was before the pandemic happened. And about half of the people in the group like moved. Like one guy moved to Japan. I guess it is getting dubbed. So yeah, one of my buddies moved to Japan, and I have visited him. I'm going back to Japan later this year, and I'll visit him again too, but he moved there permanently. Like, he's married and has a kid and everything now, so, like, he's going to be in Japan permanently now. At some point, I would love to go to Comiket and, like, go with him too, but, like, that'll probably be, like, a good while in the future, because he just moved back to Japan, and he is... Like I said, he's got a kid now. He's a married man. He's gotta get like a job and get a house and stuff. So it says it's still buffering here. I don't know what I can do to stop that. It says not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So I'm sorry if there's buffering. I will finish up so I can give you guys back your Saturday afternoons. But yeah, I used to have a pretty large friend group for Kakegumi. I've heard about Dara-san. What is Kakegumi? Is it this? Oh, that is the summer. I haven't actually heard about this before. It is... Looks like it's almost a horror anime, but it isn't. I am sorry if you guys are experiencing buffering. I do not know what is causing that. Like I said, this is my first ever stream, so look, it's a learning experience. It can only go up from here. Yeah, I'm sorry if that's a humble brag. Like, I know I've been to Japan a few times and I'm going back. Like, I'm like, I save up money throughout the whole year for my international trips, and I am not trying to flex on anybody, but like, in a way, I can try to say it's for the channel too, because like when I went my second time, I went to the Danger It's My Heart exhibit, and I saw that there's going to be a ReZero exhibit sometime this year, but it won't be until I don't know when. They don't have a date. So I think there's a lot of lag. I think there's a lot of buffering here. I'm gonna wrap up. But Okay, Marcus, I hope you had a great time in your anime party. I'm actually going to 2 anime conventions soon.